You know, people often ask me, hey Bob, what's happening in the green room? And I never know what to say because there's a lot going on, but I end up just going, you know, snake stuff. But today I'm going to attempt to answer that question with every snake in the green room. We're going to go fast, otherwise this is going to be a really long video, so let's cut to a fast logo. Welcome to the green room. I'm Bob Bledsoe. Behind the camera is my brother Kent. Hello. Let's start with an update from you, Kent. I'm doing reaction videos. What? Reaction videos. I watch something and I film myself reacting to it. Okay, I was thinking more along the lines of you've been shooting here in the green room for more than 3 years. I still do not like snakes. Well, that sums it up, I guess. Yep. Maybe a reaction video for Kent's Corner, huh? Oh, heck yeah. Okay, let's go by species and we'll start with the ball pythons. The Sundance Kid here has been paired with Evie, who's in shed right now. She doesn't want to hang out. But Evie went off food for a while. I thought things were going well, but now she's back on food. But she is looking fat and she's in shed. So I don't know what's going on with them. But they're both at sunset and we're hoping for eggs. Captain Farrell here has been paired with Molly Malone. And both of them have pied and ultramel and hypo floating around. Possibles in both, we're not sure. So we're hoping for a mix of those. Molly gave us a clutch of slugs last year, infertile eggs, and we're hoping that things go better this year. The captain has also been paired with Lucille, and she laid eggs a couple months ago, and those eggs hatched yesterday. So those are all pied babies with a mix of inchy and leopard, and then they're possibly het for ultramel and or hypo. The captain's been busy because he was also paired just a couple times early on in Lydia Dietz's season, and then I changed my mind. By the way, these snakes all have sort of different seasons. Ball pythons can be bred year-round, and I try to sort of stagger them. I decided after those couple pairings with Captain Farrell that I wanted to go with visual clown pieds, so I paired her with Bear again this year, who she was paired with last year. So we'll see what happens. She could have babies from either one, or both. That's pretty rare that they would have a split clutch, but probably since her most recent pairings were with Bear, she'll probably do the clown pied thing, I would think. I have one of Bear and Lydia's offspring from last year. That's Kodiak, and he is growing up nicely. I was planning on potentially pairing him next year, but then Jenny Craig here started showing some follicle developing behavior, and I thought they're both young, but let me just put them together and see what happens. I did that last week, put them together for a few days. Absolutely nothing happened. So that's okay. They don't need to breed until next year. And I thought it was maybe a decent pairing to do a clown pied to a banana pied. So we would get all pieds and they'd all be het for clown. And some would be banana. That follicle building behavior, by the way, was just her laying on her side. She wasn't digesting any food. And sometimes that means follicle building. Sometimes it doesn't. But with her, I kind of suspected that maybe it was. Ron is just hanging out this season. He has produced a lot of babies in the past, and I don't know if I'm going to pair Ron again, just because I have so many babies from him. But he's just hanging out. My favorite pairing with Ron is Freya, and she's also just hanging out this season. I'm giving her the year off because she maternally incubated her last clutch last year, and she spent a lot of time off food. She's definitely back up to weight. She could have bred again this year, but I don't like to breed my ball pythons every single year necessarily. This is a good matchup though. There are a lot of people who have babies from these two snakes. They make cool babies. Here are two of the babies from Ron and Freya's very first clutch. This is Tiger Lily and Dolly in here. And they're growing up nicely. They're growing up slowly. And that's okay. I'm not in a rush to breed them because I don't have a male for them yet. I want to breed them with an asphalt male to make super asphalts. Both of these girls have asphalt in them. But they also both have spot nose. And I don't want to breed them with a male that has spot nose because a super spot nose causes genetic problems sometimes. And every male that I've produced that has asphalt also ends up with spot nose. So I still don't have a male for these girls. I don't want to breed them this year anyway. They'll be ready probably end of next year, depending on how they eat. Maybe I'll just buy an asphalt boy for them. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, buddy, let me just take this off you. I just want to show you really quick. You can stay right there. There's the inspector. He's doing well. Here. There you go. He's doing good. He's paired up with Damara right now. Hold on. Okay, buddy. Let's put this back. The inspector is paired up with Damara right now, and Damara is behind this thing. Hang on. Hang on. I bet I can get her. Oh, mama. Come on, it's time for you to go back anyway. Oh, okay. It's time for her to go back to her cage anyway. She's been under the furniture all day. So Damara is my biggest ball python, and I don't have babies from her yet. I've had her for quite a while. I haven't paired her up every year, but hey, you got some dust bunnies on you, babe. But she is locking with the inspector every time, but I don't know what's going on with her. I haven't really palpated her. She's just a big girl. It's hard to, at least it's hard for me to palpate her. But I know there are a lot of people in the Horde of Keepers over on Patreon that are hoping for Damara babies. She is just a pinstripe, but the inspector has a whole bunch of genes going on, so these babies should be pretty interesting. Can I get this dust bunny off your mouth? I should maybe vacuum under the furniture, huh? All right, let's put you back. Speaking of the inspector, here's his son, Max, who has one copy of almost every gene that the inspector has. Plus, he's het for pied because Lucille is his mom. Max is doing well. He's grown up, and he's got the nicest temperament. The inspector gets cranky with me sometimes. His boy never does. Just the nicest little guy. And super bright, too. And he's getting spots. He's getting his spots in. I didn't think he was going to have many spots. Can you see him? I don't think you can see him. Dang. There you go. Now you can see some spots. So I thought he was going to be pretty spot free, but nope. He's got the banana spots. He's a good boy. Your dad's making an escape over here. Hey pal, do we have to shut this window? Because I don't want you out. Here we go. Let's shut it. Let's shut. Oh no, I startled you. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. He was not ready for a finger to touch him. Many of you are always wondering about little Miss B. Arthur Dent here, who was super skinny in this video from a couple weeks ago, because I was feeding her very sparingly, hoping that she would start taking on her own, but she just got thin. So now we're on a weight gain program. I'm helping her to eat 2 hopper mice a week, and so she's thickening up a little bit, and that's helping. So good for her. She's trying to strike, but she doesn't know how to, she doesn't close her mouth. She just goes, ah, with an open mouth when she strikes. So that doesn't work. She does rap when I put the food in her mouth. She raps, and the best situation for her would be if she decided that she would just eat dropped meals. She would just go up and start eating them, but so far she's never done that. Kata here is doing well. She's at an okay weight for her, and I still haven't decided if I'm going to breed her again next season. She was the mother of the problem clutch that I had, and I don't know if it's a genetic issue with Kata or if it was an incubation issue. I tend to suspect that it was an incubation issue, but I don't know. There could be some issues with this mama, so we'll see. I still have 2 of those babies. I'll show you them next. So from that clutch, I have this little shark mouth freeway baby. Can you see that shark mouth? Maybe, hopefully, there we go. So I'm assist feeding this little one. She eats just fine once the rodent is placed in her mouth, but she is not someone who understands how to strike. So I don't know how this is going to go for her. I don't know if she'll ever eat on her own. You know, we're doing what we can. This baby, if I can get her eating on her own, will go to one of my Patreon supporters in the Horde of Keepers. And then we have this normal, healthy baby. Not normal genetically. She's actually pretty crazy genetically. She's like an orange dream, spot nose, freeway, maybe inchy. She's pretty awesome and very well socialized. I was going to keep her, but I may sell her. I'm not sure. If I do sell her, she'll go to one of the Horde of Keepers if there's anybody who wants her. And speaking of that, here's a list of those people who are on Patreon. So this girl will go to one of them if I can get her eating. And I don't sell babies that have physical problems. So if we can get her eating, she'll just be gifted to someone in the Horde who can give her a good home. And then this little one, if I decide to sell her, will also go to one of the fine folks over on Patreon who make up the Horde of Keepers. By the way, if you're on Patreon and you're going to message me that you'd like to be on the list for this one, you can, and I'll put you on the list, but just know that there is a very long list already of people who are willing to take this little one if I can get her eating. So if you're interested in seeing what other perks go along with being a member of the Horde of Keepers over on Patreon, you can visit patreon.com/greenroompythons. Thanks to all these folks who support the channel, and thanks to our channel sponsors, Black Box Cages, Lane Labs, and the Royals Project. All these people and those companies are helping this channel continue. Oh, hey, let's do Kent's Corner. I want to do a reaction video. Okay, we can do that, but quickly, Kent. We don't have a lot of time. I can do it from right here. Hi, welcome to Kent's Corner, and this is Kent's Reaction Video Corner, the segment where we... You get it? Okay, watch this. Wow! Unbelievable! Boy, that must have really hurt. Jiminy Cripes, that's amazing! Wow! Wait, aren't we supposed to see the video that you're reacting to? Yeah, my phone was dead. I forgot to charge it, but those are just examples of reactions that I might have in a reaction video. Quality content. Thanks, Kent. Welcome! Oh, Delilah, you're not in there anymore, huh? All right, 3 more ball pythons, and then we're on to other species. Here's Delilah. She is taking the season off, but she's doing very well. She's just a delightful freeway, orange dream pastel freeway. You know what her favorite thing is? And this is a great thing to put into a snake cage. A gift bag that your wine came in, or maybe your whiskey came in as a gift. Snakes love these gift bags, and she spends almost all her time in this bag. It's going to be very sad the day that she pees in it and I have to throw it away. Let's get her daughter out. Willow is growing up nicely. Willow eats every single meal and really wants to be a big, giant breeding mama. And she will be at some point. She's doing well. Look at that. Look at that paradoxing. Such a strange... She's an orange dream freeway spot nose. Maybe something else, but she also has this weird paradoxing that's so cool. She looks hypo on most of her body, except for these spots of color that are super bright. You guys have seen her before. You know Willow. Anyway. All right, and last but not least is Anya here. I love this snake. She's doing so well and almost ready to breed, except I don't have a male for her. She is an axanthic. She's a pastel axanthic het pied, so she can make axanthic pieds. And I just don't have a male that has axanthic. So I'm not sure what I'm doing with her, but I'm not doing anything breeding-wise this year at least. But she's great. She's an extremely aggressive eater. One of the most personable snakes as far as totally happy to be out and hang out with me. She'll sit in my lap or around my neck and not try to go anywhere else. She's just happy to hang out. But when it's feeding time, I open her tub with a hook because she comes flying out. She's a very aggressive eater, which is great. Just the nicest young lady. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating in here. Did we get all the ball pythons? I think we did. Oh, we have the babies. All these babies. There you go. These babies I'll show you in more detail later. But there's 6 of them. And they're brand new. And they're just in a pile like that until they shed. And then we give them their own cages after they shed. It takes about 10 days or so from the time that they hatch to the time that they have their first shed. So that's where they are. They'll just sit in that pile that whole time. All right, off to the other species. Here we go. I have 6 in this category, including Pip, my pygmy python, who continues to be awesome. She is fearless and engaging. She eats like a champ, which means we should weigh her because she's growing quite a bit. She was, if you remember my video that I put out when I first got her, she was 9 grams when I picked her up from FedEx. So today, does this work if I just hold the scale like this? I'm going to say that it will. Let's make sure it zeroes out. Okay, it does. And today she is 17 grams. Look at that. 18, 7, hold on. I'll just do it on the thing here. She is, yeah, that's right, 17 grams with me not holding the scale. So 9 grams to 17, that's not bad. She's just a great little eater. She's very well target trained. What a cutie, right? Really, really a fan of pygmy pythons. I'm looking for a boy for her. They don't come up very often, but I do want to breed pygmy pythons in the future. So She will be ready probably in a year and a half or so. She'll be ready to breed. So I'd like to have a male to raise up, you know. And that is really the only snake that I'm kind of actively looking for right now. Here's Banjo, my little juvenile black-headed python. He is doing great. He stays hidden most of the day, but he does come out for about a half an hour or so during the day, and then I see him out in the evening. But other than that, he likes to stay hidden. But when I pull him out, he's super personable. He's just curious, just a delightful little snake. I'm a fan of black-headed pythons too. Look at that guy. Look at that pattern on him. How cool is this guy, right? The Green Room Python's official mascot is my boa, Handsome Dan. He's been out all day, or actually spending most of the time in this little cloth hide. But I'm going to put him back in his cage, maybe with the hide. Maybe with the hide. Anyway, here's Handsome Dan. He's doing well. He's on a growth spurt. He's on small rats at this point, which is crazy because it seems like just recently that I was giving him rat pups. Here he goes, back in his cage. It's a nice thing about that hide. He's the only one that uses it. So when he's out, I don't have to pull him out of that hide. I can just put the hide back in his cage, and then whenever he decides to leave it, I'll take the hide back out and put it up where it usually goes. All the other hides in the green room, by the way, I clean regularly because they're normal snake hides and you can just wipe them. But that one's cloth, so I've assigned that one to Handsome Dan. There's no other snakes that go in there. And if I ever need to clean it, I gotta like put it in the washing machine or something. Echo and Stella, my super dwarf reticulated pythons, are both in shed right now, so they're not coming out, but I'm guessing you'll see some B-roll of them. They're both in growth spurts. Stella more than Echo, but they're both eating a lot of quail right now, and they enjoy that quite a bit. And they're also enjoying their new, bigger black box cages. It's cool to see their behavior in those cages versus when they were in these. And they've gotten a lot bigger also since being in those cages, but I think they appreciate the extra space. In fact, I'm sure they do. Even though they're out in the room often, just when they're in their cage, they seem to be more relaxed in that bigger cage. And apparently I saved my longest snake for last. This is Maya, my closer to adult black-headed python. She's around 6 feet long. She's also enjoying her new black box cage. It's been a while since she thought I was food and accidentally bit me. I think I'm gonna have a sign in her cage that's, you know, one of those industrial work signs that says, you know, 30 days since last injury. I think I'm going to add that to her cage. She is going to go on a little hunting expedition right now. Since we're at the end of this video, I'm going to put her on the ground and let her hunt around. Once Banjo is a little bit closer to the same size as Maya, I'll pair them up. And that'll probably be a couple years. Maya will be ready to be paired up next year, I think, but Banjo won't. So we'll just wait till they're both ready. Then maybe we'll get some black-headed pythons bred. If you want to learn more about these snakes, check out this video that I put out recently. It talks a lot about their behavior and care and such like that. Okay, there's your update. Give me your ball python pairing suggestions if you saw any and you went, oh, this one should go with that one. And also, if you breed snakes, do you do it year-round or do you pick a specific season to put them together with? I know there's certain species that have to be bred in seasons, but many that don't, so let me know what you do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.